Today we will be covering both the vowels, consonants, and semi-vowels. This is to kind of set up a proper stage for our Vedic chanting. And I would like to stress the importance of each letter's sound perfection in order to get the desired benefits from Vedic chanting. We have this natural musical instrument or sounding instrument called our mouth system, and it's very easy to relate to a flute. To keep it simple in explaining the concepts that we'll be discussing further down, which is that if you consider the air that we are expelled from your lungs when you talk or speak in anything, that is akin to how you let the air into the flute. And then those points, your fingers are touching the holes of the flute, and that the fingers are akin to our tongue, because our tongue is just not the only tip of it. We also have back part that we can't see, but it's also a very key aspect in making the sounds of alphabets. And so if you compare your tongue to our fingers and the holes to the specific locations, which I'll show later on within the mouth, that creates various modulations where we can tap in the real hidden energies within our chakras. That is what is called as Sanskritam Varnamala. And so when I say the specific points within, rather like holes in a flute, these are the points that I was referring to, which is you see this the guttural and palatal and mudna cerebral, and then dantya, and then aushtyaha. So all of this, and notice in the legend here, it's when I say talavya, it mentions both the location of your tongue and the point that touching your mouth system, right? So it says, we see tongue rear and soft palate. Soft palate is upper side of the mouth, and then the location of tongue. So tongue and your mouth has to go in kind of an harmony to create the specific sound. And that is what I'm referring earlier to the flute. So it's easy for anyone to see why the sound has to be enunciated in a specific way. Panini is one of the important ancient rishi for Sanskritam who set the code of how the Sanskrit came out to be in the present form. It's not that it was not there before, but he has been instrumental in organizing it and creating a more structure to it. And there is a very popular story about Panini, and it goes like Panini is actually not a smart student. His guru was a prominent guru in his times, and he saw his palm and he found that it doesn't have a right lines that indicates that a student can pick up what he's going to teach, or he's a bright or whatnot, and he is missing the line. So he said, sorry, I can't accept you, because you don't have that line that I'm looking for, or that is needed to excel in what I'm teaching. But Panini is one very strong willpowered person that no one probably has seen before or heard before, is that he doesn't give up on he doesn't attribute anything to his fate. He takes everything back in his control. And the way he did is his guru said that you don't have the so-and-so line and so-and-so, and he went back home and he used a knife and cut his hand to have a kind of draw a line on his palm to match that line that his guru was talking about. And his guru, he said, Guru, is it okay now? I have the line that you are looking for. And just by mere that kind of his determination really impressed his guru, and he finally accepted him. Later on, his guru's wife tell him that I know you're struggling, so maybe in studies. So what you can do is, Shiva is known to bless the devotees with knowledge just like Saraswati. So maybe if you reach out to Shiva, he may also give you some blessings that you may need to excel in what you're doing. So what he does, he goes to a forest, and he saw 6 other rishis there, and he sat there, and they're all doing this sadhana together. And at that time, the Shiva blessed all of them with his Tandava dance. At the end of this Tandava dance, he made a sound of Damaru. And that Damaru sound has been perceived differently by all the 7 different sages. So Panini, what he heard is Maheshwara Sutrani. This sloka explains how the Maheshwara Sutrani came about. Nruttavasane nataraja rajo nanada dhankam nava panchavaram udvartu kama sanakadi siddhan etaddimarsho shiva sutra jalam. Nruttavasani is at the end of his dance. Nataraja Rajo is the king of the kings of who excels in dance, of cosmic dance, not just normal dance, the cosmic dance that creates this universe and varied beings. And Nanada Dhankam is he played his Damaru, and Navapanchavaram is he played it 14 times. As I said, Navapanchavaram is 9 plus 4. So it's kind of matching the chandas of the poem that they read. And that's one thing about Sanskrit. You don't have liberty to just compose any way that you want. Everything has to be in a proper chandas. The Sanskrit is also such a vast literature. It's a very dynamic language that you can create a word, multiple words for the same meaning. And that word can be also matched in the chandas of Lagu and Guru and so on and so forth. So here Navapanchavaram is matching the chandas here instead of Chaturdasi. Udvartu Kamas Sanakadi Siddhan is he want to give the for betterment of the Sanakadi, all the 7 rishis who are assembled there. And Etaddimarsho Shiva Sutra Jalam. So this is what has created the popular Shiva Sutras, and which is also called by various names. So Maheshwara Sutrani or Shiva Sutra, or there's various other name, or Pratyahara Sutra, and we also have Varna Samamnaya. It's called Maheshwara because it's belongs to Maheshwara. It's a Vriddhi Sandhi, it's Maheshwara. So this came from Maheshwara or Shiva. That's why it's called Maheshwara Sutrani. And the sound of all of these is, it's total of 14 verses. 1, 2, 3. You see 7 on each side. So each of them is one sutra. And A, I, Un, Roluk, E, Aung, I, Ouch, Hayavarat, Lan, Nyamangananam, Jabang, Gadadash, Jabagadadash, Kapha Chatata Chatatav, Kapai, Sashasar, Hal. The pratyahara is the more commonly used word in Sanskrit or grammar, which is the Ashtadhyayi that Panini has put forth in his popular magnum opus book, Panini Ashtadhyayi. And the pratyahara, for our conversation, I'll just keep it simple, is that anything that starts, you can start any of these black letters that you see, and you can start from there and end with any of the red letters. The red letters are called Anubandha. They don't have much value other than just kind of closing the sutra there. And the main point here I would like to mention, instead of going in deep, its pratyaharas are quite vast, and there's a lot of interesting facts about it that we'll save it for some other session. But for our conversation, we'll just keep it simple by saying that Panini used a mnemonic called Ach for the vowels, because when you say pratyahara, that pratyahara is basically most of any letters. It can be vowel or it can be a consonant, and starting from there until the Anubandha, all the letters that you encounter, that represents one group. So when I say Ach, which has A, I, Un, Ruluk, E, Aung, I, Ouch, that means A till Cha, all of them are vowels. So he calls it as Ach for vowels. And same thing goes for consonants too. Consonants, he starts with Ha, and it goes all the way Hayavarat and Lan, Nyamangananam, all of those, it goes all the way till La. That encompasses all the consonants, and that's the reason he uses the word hal. In next few videos, we will go into the science behind the pronunciation of vowels, consonants and semivowels.